Hello everyone, I'm back with another video. Today we are making a German potato dish called Bratkartoffel, and that's basically just sliced potatoes cooked in some fat or some oil in a pan until the outside is nice and crispy. Now you're just going to need a few ingredients. You're going to need some potatoes and some herbs as well as some lard. If you don't have lard, you can easily use vegetable oil. I managed to render some fat from some pork skin that I had, so it was good for me to use it, but you don't have to. You can use vegetable oil. Now, the first thing that we want to do is to cook our potatoes, and I added a bit of seasoning just because I didn't want to add the seasoning later on. So I added some black pepper, some garlic powder, as well as some white pepper and some salt, and then cook the potatoes. Now you're going to know the potatoes are done once you stick a fork into it and it goes all the way through. So once the potatoes are done, you're going to take them off, let them cool off for a bit, and then take off the skin. Once you've taken off the skin, you're going to let that cool again before you cut it into slices, else everything is just going to scatter everywhere, so you don't want that. So we're going to cut them into slices before we start frying them. So once we've got our slices all done, we're going to heat up our lard. And then we want to make sure that when we are frying our Bratkartoffel or when we are frying our potatoes, we want to make sure that they're all evenly spaced and each potato is touching the bottom of the pan. It's really important so that you can get a nice crispy crust on each of the potatoes, so you don't want to pack all of your potatoes into the pan. So we're going to make sure that the lard is very hot and then put our potatoes in there, and you're just going to cook them until you see a nice golden brown color. And you can make Bratkartoffel in two ways. You can either use cooked potatoes or you can actually use raw potatoes. The only thing with the raw potatoes is that it's going to take you just a bit longer, but it's just as good actually. So I have done them. I've made Bratkartoffel with raw potatoes and have made them with cooked potatoes, and both ways are actually fine. So if you have a little more time and you want to do this, you can try it with raw potatoes as well. Again, this is one of those things you're going to need to bring some thyme with you, or you can also add some thyme as a herb. And yeah, so you want to bring some thyme with you and then just make sure that each of the slices cover the bottom of the frying pan. If you have several pans and you have a big stove, then you can have several at a go, especially if you have a large number of people coming over and you just don't want to be using one pan. You can use several pans to do that. The good thing with the cooked potatoes is that basically you're just looking to get some color on them as they're already cooked. For the raw potatoes, you're going to have to make sure that they're cooked as well as get some color on them. Now, the one thing that I do when I'm using raw potatoes is that I cut the slices a bit thinner just so that it doesn't take too long to cook. And I think that that makes sense. Now you can also add some onions to your Bratkartoffel. So what you would do is you fry the onions separately, and once your potatoes are all done, you're just going to mix everything together. Another common thing that is also added to Bratkartoffel is bacon. So you can have some bacon, you can fry them, render them down, and then once once your Bratkartoffeln are almost ready, you're going to mix that up, mix it up with the bacon, and then mix it up with the onions as well. And you've got a beautiful, beautiful side there. Bratkartoffeln are absolutely delicious. You should try them. And I would say they go perfectly well with pork chops. I have a recipe up for that. And potatoes go absolutely perfectly well with mustard sauce. I have a recipe for that as well. So you're really in good hands with the whole meal right here. You've got your Bratkartoffel, you've got your pork chops, you've got your mustard sauce, and that is complete. Now, all of the recipes that I have just mentioned are up on gingerandseasalt.com, and I have other videos on YouTube as well, so you should check that out. My aunt ate this and she was absolutely over the moon, as she always is when she eats my food. And so there we have it, your beautiful golden brown Bratkartoffel. Of course, once you're done, you're going to add some herbs on there. I had some parsley as well as some garlic chives. So I just chopped them up and then sprinkled that over. And there you go. Absolutely fantastic. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and I look forward to bringing you another one next time. Let me know in the comments if you're going to try this. And I will see you next time. Happy eating!